Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to be able to bring greetings from all his cousins in the great white north with memories of growing up with Mike, or as he was known to us, Jack. If I can prevail upon you for starting with something biblical, I believe this passage applies to your husband, your father, your grandfather, and friend. Last summer, I was reading a passage from the first book of Kings, chapter 3, about Solomon, the wise one. The passage goes like this. In a dream, God spoke to Solomon and said, "Ask for what I should give you." And Solomon answered, "Give your servant an understanding mind and a listening heart, able to discern between good and evil." And it pleased the Lord that Solomon asked for wisdom, and not for himself, such as a long life, riches, and the life of his enemy. And God said, "I now give you a wise and discerning mind, and I give you also what you have not asked for, both riches and honor, and I will lengthen your life." Then Solomon awoke, for it had been a dream. Usually people focus on Solomon as the wise king, but it suddenly struck myself as the message, what are you going to do with a long life? We don't need to go too far to see how Mike used his long life here at the Casa, his life with Pat and Ann, his 5 adult children, his Franciscan spirituality, his lifelong friends from Chicago, his care for the environment, and love of family, history, and travel. As one 6 years younger, neither of us had brothers, so we happily assumed the roles of cousin brothers. As a young one living in Ottawa, when he came from Montreal for a visit, this was truly exciting, and he always brought me a gift, prompted likely by your grandmother, Kathleen, and his grandfather, Bernie, his father and mother. One time it was a predecessor to a football table game. And then on another visit, he gave me his old high-top football cleats. This guy was special. Fast forward, when studying at St. Louis University in 1975, I asked if I could visit the Mulroys in Chicago for Thanksgiving, and they said, "Come ahead." What a great holiday, seeing all 5 young ones still at home, someone generously giving up their room, and then sightseeing around Arlington, Evansville, and downtown Chicago. On that occasion, we also visited the Kobersteins, your uncle and aunt, the late sister Pat and husband Jack. And of course, his marriage to Anne in the chapel of the Academy of the Sacred Heart in New Orleans. Wanted or not, all Canadian cousins flew in for that occasion. Appropriately, Father Rusty was the celebrant to bless that marriage. Wonderful he is here with us today. To more recent times, we also appreciated his visits to Ontario for weddings and funerals, and also visiting his parents' grave in Hastings, Ontario, in Our Lady of Mount Carmel Cemetery, where the early Howards settled from the 19th century. Even more recently, his birthday party here in Scottsdale. Great food, great football, great times with family. Another Thanksgiving hoot. Mike lived a long life like Solomon and enjoyed it and used it for others, for his own continuing education of the world and developing his spirituality. I'm only sorry that this has to be done in COVID days at a distance. All Howard cousins send their love to him and to all the family. God bless Mike, and no doubt he is preparing a welcome mat for all of us in heaven. God bless all.